Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to part 10 of the Long Roads campaign for the Stump Gang, our second campaign in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Palladium. It's been a lot of fun so far. We've seen our ups and we've seen our downs. Let's introduce the people before I do the recap. Directly below me, you are seeing the Buildmaster General, Philbilly330, playing Roswell the Alligator.
What's up, guys?
Next to him, you are seeing our partner in all things TTRPG. I'm dropping the unofficial, Wiz. You're going to have to deal with it. Our partner in all things TTRPG, Wizard's Respite, Ash specifically. He is playing Tex the Armadillo.
Howdy, folks.
And last but certainly not least, Hope Child playing Ruby the Sparrow.
Hey guys.
We're gonna have to get you some extra nicknames too there, Hope Child.
Well,
I'm gonna work on it. All right, so recap, everybody. We had a big episode last episode because the group rallied, damaged and hurt. They concocted a cockamamie rescue plan to get Stella out of the clutches of... I'm going to look it up so I don't screw it up because I realized I've been saying his name two different ways the entire time. Braddock, General Braddock. But apparently like 50% of the time I call him Bradford. But to rescue Stella from the clutches of the very evil General Braddock in a high-speed, Mad Max-esque car chase wreck 'em up scene. You guys will have to go back and listen for all the heart-pounding moment-to-moment action. But suffice to say, Roswell got real messed up because he did the bulk of the fighting with Braddock, but he did come out on top. Braddock ended up careening over the edge of kind of a embankment from the highway, and his truck exploding into millions of pieces, with him basically bleeding out on the floor. He's definitely dead. And then we had Roswell and Bert somehow leap from the truck before it careened off back onto the Blue Ox that was being driven by Ruby the Sparrow, who was driving like a psychopath, while Tex lost his gun, his prize gun, which made me so happy. I cannot even begin to describe how happy I am. But right before he filled his old nemesis Ocelot with a clip of a gun that I shouldn't let him shoot in the first place. But they rescued Stella, and also they had the help of the now friend 848. So we begin the game. We see just an undescribing kind of portly gentleman. He is sitting in like a small, almost like ticket booth sort of thing, and we see a big sign next to him that says KOA, Campsites of America, spelled with that weird K. Just sitting there in front of the ticket booth with like a little partition next to it. It's the middle of the night at this point. He's just kind of like looking at his phone, playing Candy Crush. He does not notice, but we see in frame, kind of slowly scroll in, Roswell and Bert still on the hood, clinging to it, bleeding all over the place. The Blue Ox slowly settle up to the stop. You see Bert kind of like staring at him through the glass. Then he looks at Roswell. Then he looks back, and he knocks on the glass. And the guy just kind of looks up and goes, "Whoa!" And Bert goes, "We'd like a campsite." So we're back with Stump Gang, part 10. Okay, so guys, you get a KOA, and basically you guys are screwed up. As much as the delivery has to continue, and this is going to put you behind, Bert realizes that everybody needs rest for a few days, and Barbie and Ken will be on to you guys now that there was chaos all over the roadways. So the best thing to do is actually to lay low for a little while, so that maybe to throw them off your scent. So yeah, So you guys are at a KOA site. You find a back kind of site that's relatively large enough for them to put the truck on. You guys have almost no camping gear, but sure enough, you guys kind of get dropped off there. We kind of fast forward a little bit towards kind of early light is breaking at this point. You're all tired, you're all beat up from the fight you've just had. However, the 848's resident medicine guy, which I believe is the old man, if I recall correctly. 4. Let me just make sure. Yeah. The old man is flown in on the helicopter and just looks completely unhappy with it. He's shown to Roswell first, and he just kind of like looks at him, and then he looks at the guy who's pointing at him, and he goes, "You know that's an alligator, right? Like I'm not a vet, and I'm certainly not a mutant vet or a Dr. Vet hybrid that this thing would need." And then Ocho, actually, our octopus mutant, is just like, "Help him, 4, and stop your complaining. I know you know how to do it. You've dealt with my anatomy enough." He's like, "Your anatomy? You're basically an amphibious blob that regenerates. He is an alligator. Whatever." And 4 does the best he can to patch your wounds. It's enough to stabilize you, Roswell. You're not going to bleed out or anything like that. He also does the same thing with Tex. For the most part, he looks at your bandages, changes them, that sort of thing. Any extra wounds you got. I don't think you actually got messed up any more than you were already pretty messed up. The coyote fucked you up, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I was pretty fucked up from the coyote.
Right. So, yeah. So, at this point, Burgess says you guys have to just take a couple of days and relax and rest and try and ease it up. So, it breaks up in the morning. One of the 848, actually, I think 5. 5 the one with the cooking? Yeah. 5th. The 5th. The 5th kind of cooks you guys up some food. The 5th is the one that looks like Michelle Rodriguez that piloted the helicopter. She kind of cooks everybody a breakfast. And Ocho actually walks over to Roswell while you are kind of like sitting alone.
"It has been a pleasure to repay my debt to you and your friends. But our group must be going."
I understand, Ocho. I'm happy to say we're fair and square on this one. I appreciate you having our back.
He extends a tentacle to shake your hand. It is a rather gross experience. He wraps it fully around your wrist and shakes it, and then kind of takes it back and he goes,
"One other thing, if you don't mind me saying it, brother. I listened to your podcast. It's not bad at all. However, be careful what you say on there. I know you are relatively new to this sort of world, but people listen. And sometimes the people who listen, they listen too intently, with too much verve, might I say."
Yeah, well, somebody's got to inspire change in this world, Ocho, and if it's got to be me, I'll take the licks and do it. But don't worry, don't be concerned. You will make an appearance on the next episode. You have to be involved in this, and the world needs to know about the conspiracy of life as we know it.
He kind of looks at you and goes,
"Fair enough. Although I will warn you one last final time. Those who seek to inspire change rarely change the world in the way they wish to. Goodbye, my friend, until we meet again. You always have a friend with the 848.
1 second, I have something for you.
"Ooh, friendship."
I write my autograph on on one of my pamphlets for my I'm gonna say that I had made for my podcast, and I'm like, "Ocho, you deserve this more than anyone. Trust me, it's gonna be worth a ton someday. You'll be able to retire, quit this whole killing business and capturing kids and all that stuff. I understand why you do it, but we gotta get out of this."
He looks at you and goes, Are you sure you?
not running around capturing children all the time.
Well, that's how we met, Ocho. So, I mean, as much as I love you, I gotta admit, your words seem to be conflicting with your actions as of right now. And it's something you can work on. You can always work on yourself, and a good place to start is the Conspiracy of Life every Friday at 4 p.m. Goes live.
He stares at you for a long time, not sure how to respond, and then he just kind of like moves the autograph up in the air and goes,
I will treasure it, my friend.
and then he turns and walks away. Alrighty. At this point, they serve breakfast to everybody, and then the 848, unless anybody else wants to talk to the 848, is going to get on their helicopter and fly away.
I'm good.
I'm gonna need a minute.
Too much comedy. I like how we go right from like the most death-defying. Why is this coming through my speakers? Oh, I'm sorry, guys, if that is messing with the sound. Hold on a second. Just realized the music was coming through the speakers of the computer, so it was echoing.
Go. I didn't get anything on my side.
So that's good. That's good. It probably just kind of turned out that nobody could hear anything. So they do their business. They leave. And yeah, the 848 are out. Leaving the Stump gang to themselves again. You guys, they left Stella with you guys too. She hasn't woken up yet, but you've been assured that she's going to wake up. She's just tired from what they were doing to her, basically. Aubrey and Lila are with Stella in the sleeper car. Not the sleeper car, but the sleeper section of the truck.
Yeah.
So it's just Bert, Tex, Ruby, and Roswell outside as the sun kind of comes up. I do, before we get into any role-playing, I have promised random encounters from the book. And it is time for another random encounter. I do believe Roswell and Tex have both rolled a random encounter so far. So I think that it is time for Ruby to do the role of honor here. So Ruby, if you might roll a percentile die for me so that I may use that to cause you guys problems in the future.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a gift to you.
We have a 26.
It's not worth as much as an autograph from Roswell, though.
Alright, we actually got that one before, so I am going to have you roll again.
How about a 51?
Okay. All right.
Crap.
It's really not bad. Don't worry. Okay, so at this point, you guys are hanging out. What do you do?
I am actually going to head up to the front of the truck and listen in on the CB just to make sure if there's anything that we might be able to intervene in or just avoid before we go to leave the campsite.
Okay. So go ahead and a good skill for that. You know what? Let's just do a controls up to 50 right now. You guys have basically full control of the scene. So go ahead and give me a just a basic we're gonna say IQ check. So IQ plus the control of 50 is your difficulty on a percentile. Oop.
I got it. I got a 14.
Got a 14?
Yep.
All right. So 14. You know, it's pretty quiet on the CB right now where you're at. There's one trucker trying to figure out where to eat. Another trucker's kind of talking to him. There's another trucker warning of a speed trap up ahead. Stuff like that. Pretty routine things. One of them is talking about a parade that's about 15 miles away from you guys. That's happening in like 4 days, and to watch out for traffic on that day. Stuff like that. It's very, very straightforward CB stuff, unless you're looking for something specific.
No. I was just trying to gather a little bit of information, so then I'll go back out with the guys and just kind of update them, let them know what I heard on the CB, so that they can we can then maybe put a game plan together on what direction we might head out of here.
Bert just kind of smiles at that and goes, well, that's good to hear. Doesn't sound like they're onto us, at least not yet. Or at least if they're searching, they haven't caught our scent.
So I know I'm new around here, Bert. Is there anything else that I should know about the girls that we might not know of any other enemies that they have?
Bert stops and looks at Tex because he goes, well, that's funny, Ruby, because I'm actually newer than I look. Tex, anybody else?
Well, Braddock was the boogeyman, so to speak. He was the one that was hunting them. I'm awfully worried about any lingering effects or henchmen he might have still in the wind, particularly a certain coyote that has a hankering for armadillo.
Mm-hmm. Remember that.
Don't you worry. As soon as I get my revolver and I look over at Bert, you do happen to have another revolver somewhere on that truck, right? Because these flashing, spitting guns, they're not real my style.
He kind of like, he kind of looks at you and goes, do I look like I'm made of guns? Let me see if he does.
Kinda. I mean, you are like, he has
Gunman.
so many guns.
Gunman!
That and Budweiser.
Let me look at let me look him up real quick. His little safe. See if he has any guns. All right.
Not a mini mission for Tex.
Unfortunately, there is. What's your weapon proficiencies? Is it straight up revolver?
It is revolver. Revolver.
He does not have a revolver. That is one thing he does not have. He has a lot of scary weaponry, but none of it is a revolver, unfortunately.
The good thing Ruby knows how to shoot quite a few other guns.
That's true. You could always ask Ruby. She's got a revolver on her. He goes, unfortunately, I do not have a revolver. No offense to you or your chosen weapon, but I tend to like a little bit more ammunition in the clip, so to speak.
Them fancy guns, I see. That might be something we need to You know, I'm thinking we might need to restock, so to speak.
Oh, hey Tex, I hear you're looking for the revolver. You do want to do a little trade, see?
What were you thinking for trading for?
Gun for gun.
Well, all I got here is this submachine gun, and it's not exactly mine.
Bert's like, damn right it's not yours. However, he turns to Ruby. Could you even use one of those? What's your weapon proficiencies there, Ruby?
And proficiency.
They're under skills. They'll be like WP proficiencies.
Why am I not seeing? Oh, there it is. I don't know. It says I have a 2. Give me a second. Yeah, I don't have right next to it is a 2.
I don't know what that means because weapon
Because
proficiencies
that's
don't
why
have
I'm like,
numbers.
right to me. W.
Like you pick weapon proficiencies, like skills. So like you would have like so to use your revolver, you would assume that you have weapon proficiency revolver, like that sort of thing.
Right, yeah. Percentage is 40%.
No, no. There's no percentages for weapon proficiencies.
Well, I have it under skills, is what you told me to put it under.
I did, but I did not tell you to put a percentage next to it because they don't have percentages.
Oh,
They're skills, they just don't have percentages.
The revolver I have, it's a 2d6 per round.
No.
And then
You need to have
You
a
probably
skill
just
to use
have
the
a-
revolver. You need to have a skill to use the revolver. You need to have a skill to use a gun. So like it's not a percentage skill. It just has to be listed under your skills. So what weapons do you have proficiency in, basically? What weapons do you have listed under your skills?
I have the knife
Okay.
and the 38 revolver is the only 2 I have.
So that means you cannot shoot the gun that he has either. You can only shoot the revolver.
Oh, okay.
And actually, your proficiency shouldn't be the 38 revolver. It should be revolver.
Okay, because you told me to put. You said I had a 38 revolver.
You have a 38 revolver, but the weapon proficiency, like this,
Is-
we're talking about your skills.
Yeah. Yep, I get it.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I
Okay.
have is a knife and then the revolver. Yep, it's the
Okay.
only 2 I have.
Okay. So yeah, so you can't use his flashy gun either.
No.
This is one revolver between two of you. This is what it is right now.
Sorry, guys. You can't have my revolver.
I think
This
that's
was
about
a
time
This was a get.
we might just have to, like I said, restock and reload. I think one way or the other, we have to be running a little low on provisions at this point. How many bullets did we end up firing at them folk?
Quite a few.
Bert kind of looks at you and goes, "Yeah, my M16. I'm probably down to half a clip at this point, but
Wouldn't we want to stay clear of the ammunition place because Barbie and Ken might be looking for us at those kind of particular places after hearing that big fight going down?
she does make a good point. How about this? We give it a couple of days at the campsite, then right before we leave, we try and find a place to purchase some ammo."
Maybe something a little not so local.
Yeah. Well, hell, I'll go to Walmart or something. But as long as we shop it right before we leave, we'll be all right.
That's not too bad of an idea. As well as that, I'd like to pick up a few other things. I'm sure if we go into Walmart, I'll be able to find them with no issue.
Now, I want you guys to all recover your health. Back up to full.
While they're doing their thing, I go to the door and where the girls are,
Okay.
and I knock on it.
It's just a curtain, if I recall correctly.
okay.
But you can knock to let yourself know. And you just kind of hear a weak voice say, "Come in." And when you kind of go through the door, you see Stella's up. She's drinking water. She looks pale because obviously they were like taking her blood or doing something to her. But overall, she looks all right. There is, well, I'm going to make you roll for this and you're probably going to fail it. Mental affinity. Control is 50 though right now.
Mental affinity control is
Alligators are known for their mental affinity.
so I have to be a 62. A 7. I got
Okay.
it.
In a rare moment of absolute brilliant empathy from Roswell, you kind of get the read on Stella that while she's definitely weakened from her state, she's really much more bothered that you guys had to do everything you did because of a mistake she made. And there's also something else, like there is a failure in her face that is probably beyond her years. That is a little bit disheartening to you. But yeah.
I'm glad to see you awake and doing better, lady. Fine lady. I'll tell you, what you did back there was quite brave. Although it was a bit reckless, I can appreciate the sacrifices that you were willing to go through for your sisters.
Aubrey chimes in before he could say anything and goes, yeah, reckless. We didn't need it. And Stella just kind of like puts her head down, and you see Lila go, all right, enough. She feels bad. Stella just kind of like ignores it for a second and then looks at you, Roswell, and goes, you know, I'm sorry I didn't trust you from the start, and I won't make that mistake again. Thank you so much for everything you went through for us and everything you're still going through for us.
Oh, no problem at all. It, be honest with you, it beats, chomping on intruders' legs in the swamps. I can't deny it.
She goes, well, I'm glad. I just wish I hadn't caused so much trouble. It wasn't my intent when I went out there, obviously, but I don't know, I just didn't have it in me to do it. And then Aubrey chimes in and goes, what? Something else stupid? You don't do that. You don't get to play the martyr here. We're all together. That's how it works. If you take him out and you take yourself out, where does that leave the rest of us? And you see, like, Aubrey's mad and she's got the anger, but, like, there's, like, wetness in her eyes because she's emotional about it. And Stella just kind of looks up at her and goes, you're right. You're right, I'm sorry.
Plus, girls, there's way more important things going on. I mean, I don't need this kind of hostility. I just dealt with some on my own. I've had my share. What I really came in here for, although it be brash and brazen maybe to ask, is... But a gator's got to do what a gator's got to do. And, Goddess, could you please provide your bounty? Because I got to tell you, I'm withering away.
Aubrey actually chuckles and looks at Lila and goes, yeah, goddess, provide your bounty. She goes, okay. And then she goes, let me just go get my bounty. I'm gonna, and then she like slowly, awkwardly squeezes past you. I'm just gonna go to the place where the bounty is and fetch it for you to enjoy the bounty. Okay. And then she like walks out. Aubrey just shakes her head. And then Stella actually looks at Aubrey and goes, I'm sorry. She goes, Aubrey just kind of looks at her and nods and goes, I know. And then you see them actually hug.
Don't be sorry. She's going to get it. She is the goddess.
Comedy. Yes. Perfect timing. That actually makes both of them laugh. Tex, Ruby, Bert, you're outside when Lila just kind of walks up with a nervous look on her face. Goes, hi, Bert. Food. We need food. We need food for Roswell. Bert just kind of... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, not a problem. This is a girl problem.
Lila looks at Ruby and goes, it is? I mean, okay, sure. I just He thinks I'm a god, and if I don't give him food, he's gonna stop thinking he's a god. And I don't know what happens to all of us if he stops thinking I'm a god.
Okay, it's okay. There's no nerves. Let's go scavenge for some food.
Yay! And then you guys walk off to find the goddess's bounty.
Actually, I'm gonna chime in and say, well, why don't we go down to the I'm hoping there's a creek in this area, and do a little fishing.
Ooh, fishing.
You had the same idea I did.
Everybody's gonna go fishing.
I have fishing as my skill.
Damn
I want to use all of my skills at some point during this game.
So do I.
I want to let everybody out there know this is what you come here for. The action-packed fishing episodes. Right here. We hit all the marks, okay? You want heart-pounding action? Last week. You want comedy? Week before that. Fucking fishing? Right here. This is the one. All right, so you guys are heading down to go fishing. Yeah, there's a creek. There's definitely some fishing. I don't know where you've acquired the rods or bait, but we're just going to say it happens because 80s TV.
We actually have, I have wilderness. Do you have wilderness techs?
Are you guys going to spearfish?
They're going to make their own homemade.
We're going to be able
I do.
I can roll it for you, and we are going to make our own fishing rods with maybe some vines and some sticks.
I'm definitely making a spear. I am spear fishing.
Okay. All right. Okay. Give me some wilderness rolls. I am going to drop the control to a 40 at this point because everybody's scared of Roswell eating them.
So is that 40 plus our skill?
Yeah. Oh, no. I'm just dropping the control to a 40.
Okay.
Your skill would be wilderness. Roll your skill.
I got it. I rolled a 13 and I had a 40.
Yeah, I rolled a 37, so I just barely made it.
I will say that the spear is a little bit easier to make. You just take a knife, you whittle down the edge. You definitely don't make fishing line out of vines, but there's definitely some like wire that Bert has hanging around his truck of infinite items. And you're able to take that and kind of string it together with like some twigs and make we're gonna say a operational fishing apparatus, so you guys can go fishing. All right, give me is there fish? You have a skill called fishing?
Fishing.
Yep.
Let's do it. Roll them skills.
Just the most random. Oh, I got it too.
Holy shit!
I got a 54 and I needed under a 65.
Okay. So, Ruby, you kind of like, you find some worms, which is good, easy because you're a bird. And then you kind of fashion the worms to it. You plop them in the water and you're fishing. You kind of like, it takes a little bit. Lila's standing next to you. Action music started playing. That's probably not the way. That would be great if I just had action music going the entire time you guys were fishing.
Yeah. It's an exciting moment of fishing.
That's right.
Is he gonna get away? Did we get it?
Okay. So you're fishing in the lake, and Lila sits next to you. Meanwhile, like Tex like wades out into the creek with a spear, and you guys chuckle at him slightly. But he immediately just starts like fish after fish after fucking fish because he rolled a 2. So he's just like spear, plopping them out, spear, plopping them out, which is it's a little bit frustrating to you and Lila because you made this complex fishing rod that has netted you 1 fish, whereas he's just like got a whittled stick and he's just like dropping them left and right.
Listen, because he's closer to the ground.
Lila looks at herself and goes, I would be great at it then.
Well, you want to give it a try? Go ask Tex. He'll let you stab a few, I'm sure.
She goes, no, I don't like hurting things. It's just not in me. I know that everybody keeps getting hurt around me, but it's just not my thing.
feeding yourself.
She's like, that's fine. I think I'll prefer to see the feeding afterwards, I suppose. So yeah, she actually looks at you and goes, and thank you. I know that you just kind of met us, so this was a lot for you to go through in the last few days.
Yeah, I've been through a lot worse there, little one.
At this point, she, you catch one more fish. So altogether, you guys catch like 20 fish, but like 2 of them were from you, and like 18 of them were from rampant spearfisher psychopath, just taking out his anxiety over losing his prized revolver. Just snicker snack. You guys managed to fish for a while and managed to bring some food back to Roswell. Roswell, they bring you back just tons of fish. Do you even wait for them to cook it?
You guys cook this?
I can.
Think.
Like in a civilized individual, of course we cook our fish.
Of
Let me
course.
show you how it's done.
Of course you do. I am also a civilized individual. And I like kind of like you see one solo tear run down Roswell's eye. He's like, you know, this really brings me back to my roots, where I came from, in the swamp. There's no one else I'd rather enjoy this bounty with than all of you. Thank you, goddess, for what you provided to us all.
Lila like walks up next to you and hugs you. And it is really nice because I think Roswell can count on one hand the amount of times he's been hugged. Like truly hugged, and not somebody trying to wrestle him to the ground. Like somebody just like, I hug you. Yeah. So it's a nice moment. Do you guys want to do anything else in the next 3 days that you rest?
I would like to cook the fish.
Well, yes.
I have cooking as a skill. I want to use all my skills at least once, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to use dance, because dance is one of my skills.
I can't wait to see that. I cannot wait to see that. I've already began to plan out a hoedown scene.
There's got to be some square dancing, a little hoedown.
Mutant hoedown.
Is there any, does Bert have any fabric of any kind in the truck, maybe in the back or anywhere?
Oof, that might be a tall order. Give me a high-low call.
Let's do low.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
What are you trying to do?
I'm going to try and maybe,
Hey, you got real quiet all of a sudden.
is that better?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Because what I want to do is do some like.
Oh, there it is. It just kept
some
running back in.
Oh, you're okay. I want to do maybe some like patchwork of some kind to maybe make like. What am I thinking? Hold on.
While she's thinking, Tex, give me a cooking roll.
All right.
So that you can mark that off your bucket list.
I got a 9.
I want to make like some satchels
from a
of
60.
some kind that maybe the girls or something like that can carry extra things if they needed to.
A satchel. Okay. Do you have a skill that would allow you to do such things?
I have sewing.
Do it. Roll it.
We're going to get all of our skills used. I'm going to find a way to dance.
I will say I appreciate all 3 of you because I gave you a downtime camping scene and you guys have all made the best out of it. In that scene, we've had like comedy, fishing, sewing.
I got an 11 and I needed to be under a 65.
Okay. All right. You start to, it's going to take time. It'll be successful, but it's not going to be like an overnight thing.
Of course. No, I'm thinking it maybe take like a day and a half of some sort.
We're here for a few days.
Yeah.
Right. I'm making it for all 3 girls to be able to carry, because
right.
I'm thinking they had a backpack at some point in time. They might have lost it or something. I want them to be able to carry their belongings and things if they need to.
Okay, sounds good. You start to work on it. Tex, what'd you roll on your cooking?
I got a 9 out of, and I had to beat a cooking a 60.
Tex cooks up some fucking brilliant seafood. It's like red lobster in your mouth there, Roswell. And I gotta say, like, while raw fish and garbage has been fine, this is amazing comparatively. I don't think Roswell's really gotten to eat super good food other than what Lila gave him at the campground. But mostly it's like he's just eating garbage and people.
Yeah.
Raw
Really
people.
really bad fast food.
See, it's
Yeah.
all about the salt and the pepper. Next time you have to eat a person, try to have a little salt and pepper in your pocket. It'll really make the flavor explode.
Bert shakes his head and goes, "How about we try not to eat people, period?"
We can try, but we've been trying all kinds of things lately, and it hasn't exactly been working out.
All right. So at this point, we cut away.
On the note of cannibalism.
On the note of cannibalism. Let's move away.
It wouldn't be cannibalism if I'm an alligator, though, to be fair.
This is true. All right. So at this point, we switch away. We see some criminals barreling down a highway. One of them is firing a gun out the window. Another one has like a bag of the money in the back. They're screaming. They're happy. When all of a sudden you just see this absolutely classic beast of a car, Dodge Challenger, just roar out behind them. Just a big blower in the front. It's painted completely black with just red, not detailing, but like the, just like the outline stuff. You know what I mean? Like lining, like almost like edging.
Pinling?
Yeah, like the red on it. It's armored to the teeth. There's actually like cases that come down off the frame that are like mesh netting over the tires to protect them, and it just shifts in, and you could just hear it roar down the highway. It roars up towards them. They've already avoided a bunch of cops, and this one just roars past them, coming up on them fast. You see out of the back, like the back kind of roof opens, like slides open. You see just this large figure like kind of hunch up and land up on the roof, like bloom bloom. He's wearing kind of like a black leather kind of suit of armor with a popped collar, and he actually has like a pirate mask on, like a cowl almost, but it's down over his eyes, like the thing Batman wears under his mask. But it turns around, and we see that he is not a he, but a what? I don't remember what he reads. Give me 1 second. Where are they? Somewhere in here they are. Sorry, guys. My notebook. Shit. I left the 8 for 8 first. There we go. It's a Rottweiler, and it's just a massive, like shoulders wide, muscle bound. Kind of looks back at the cops, and then looks forward. He goes, "All right, bro, I'm ready." And then we kind of like fast forward. We kind of like move inside. We see, we see same kind of thing, but a lot smaller and more tone, and it's a pit bull in the face. Same cowl and outfit though, driving the car. One hand on the stick shift, one hand on the wheel. He goes, "All right, let's do this." And he like downshifts, hits the gas, whole car like lurches forward again. flies into the back end of them. The Rottweiler leaps off, slamming onto the top of of their car. You see him pull one hand up, and like two claws, just two massive like metal claws, come out of like a mechanism on the back, almost like a shredder type claw. Then he just jabs him into the roof, sticks him through. It hits the steering column and just like severs the steering column in like right through the roof. Pulls it out. The guy's like, "Oh, I can't steer. He's like, "Well, hit the brakes." Hits the brakes. As he does, the Rottweiler leaps off back to the other car, slips into the car as the criminal car spins off, slams into the berm. The cops all pulling to a stop. One cop gets out, just kind of looks on after him and goes, "Damn those road dogs. Damn those road dogs. Once again. Vigilante justice." We switch back. Introducing characters. We're in between.
Road dogs.
Road dogs. I based these guys on. I'll talk about it later. I don't want to ruin it.
So I think I know who you're talking about.
Oh yeah. they're almost direct copies. We then switch back and we see this big car just kind of like go off the road, and it kind of like hides, gets away from the cops. Then it slows down and it actually moves towards a junkyard, and it says Two Dogs Junkyard, basically. The thing slides like we see like the door slide open. The Rottweiler gets out. He shuts the door. Then he pulls off the mask, and you just see he's like this mutant Rottweiler. He's like, "Yeah, bro, one more time. That was good." And then you see the other one get out, and he's like, "Yeah, I can't say that I didn't enjoy that." He pulls off the cowl too, Pitbull. They high five, and they go, "One of these days the cops will catch up, right?" And then you see the big guy go, "I don't know about that. We're just too good." And then they high five again. At that point, they put the car away, and we see the sun coming up. And then as they're going down into this underground layer below the junkyard, one of them kind of, the big one, the Rottweiler, goes, "Yo, Blade, look at the camera." Blade's like, he looks up and you see it just says shop cam. And you see there's like a front desk shop of the junkyard. And we see in the waiting room, we see Barbie. She's just standing there. We also see a new figure, which I'll show you guys the picture later, but standing next to Barbie. He's definitely of Asian descent, but he has dye blonde hair, like cut like a Ken doll. Then he has a huge leopard print fur coat over himself, like oversized fur coat that like almost drags across the floor, and you can't see his hands coming out of the bottom. And he's standing behind her, kind of menacingly and ominously. At this point, the pit bull, who we now know as Blade, kind of looks up and goes, "Oh man, I hate getting the mask on." He goes, "Hold it down, Ribeye." He's like, yeah. And then Ribeye kind of like walks over to monitor the camera. You see, you see Blade put this gas mask on. It looks like a human gas mask, but it's obviously to hide the snout of the dog. Then he puts overalls on, like full coveralls, zips it up, and then gloves on his hands. Walks up to the front desk. He comes out, and he goes, "Hey, what can I do for you guys? Welcome to Two Dogs Junkyard. You need something scrapped? We could do it next day." And he kind of like walks up to the front desk. You see Barbara just kind of look at her and go, like, "This is totally awesome. I cannot believe that you two actually managed to pull this off." You see Blade just kind of look confused for a second. And he goes, "Damn it." And he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." And she's like, "Come on, like the gas mask isn't a total dead giveaway? Hasn't anybody ever wanted to see your face?" And you see Blade just kind of like, you see him kind of like look nervous through the mask, and he's like, well, you know, the mask is, I was working on a refrigerator in the back, and she's like, I know who you are, and I know who your partner is. Like, you guys are totally the road dogs. At that point, you see him stop, and he goes, he kind of reaches up, he pulls the mask off, and it's the pit bull, obviously. And you hear the Ken-looking fellow behind her go, huh. And then at this point, Barbie goes, and then you see Blade goes, man, I thought we had a lot longer before this kind of thing happened to us. Barbie puts her hands up. Oh, no. Like, I'm totally a fan of you guys. I would never turn you guys in. Like, we have common goals. I'm just a hero myself, trying to take down a villain. And I think you might be of assistance. Blade just kind of like looks at her and goes, look, we're good guys. If you're trying to blackmail us, we'll just take it. You turn us in and we'll be done. She goes, again, not trying to do that. What I'm trying to do is show you guys like a totally evil guy who's just wrecking shop across America. And then she kind of like walks over, hands him a thumb drive. Goes, take a look at this CCTV footage. You might find it interesting. And those people, those absolute menaces, well, they're about to enter your territory. So how about this? Professional courtesy, like I won't tell on you guys, and maybe you take out this criminal for me. Blade kind of looks at it and looks back and goes, all right, but why don't you just take him out if you're such a hero? She goes, I've tried. Like, they're tough customers, and I need somebody as powerful as the road dogs to do it. Think you guys can do it for me? He goes, I won't make any promises, but I'll look into it. What'd you say your name was? She goes, you could just call me Barbie, but I'm going to get out of your hair. Happy hunting. And then she turns and walks out and goes, come on, Ken. And Ken just sits there and stares at him for a really long time. And I don't know if you guys all remember, you may or may not, but we kind of zoom in on Ken's face, and it is the same ninja that she picked up on the side of the road after that second fight scene that you guys had where Roswell basically cut his hand into shreds. Yeah, he's been made over into the Ken. Finally, he kind of like cracks his neck and turns and walks out after her. All right, back at the campsite. Okay, so you guys have cooked fish, you've eaten fish, we've had a couple of days now rest. You guys are feeling better, you're feeling rested, you're feeling ready to go. And Bert finally comes over and goes, all right, if we're going to go into town, we're going to go into town. Before we get going again, I figure we'll head through Indianapolis and then get back on track. Who's coming with me going town?
I got a few things I'm looking for.
All right.
I will have with you as well. Roswell, you got the girls?
Yeah, I got the girls. I'm going to work on next episode anyways, so you guys enjoy your shopping spree.
Do you need anything, Roswell, that we can grab for you?
Nope. I'm a simple man. I got my teeth, and I got Goddess here just provided us that beautiful bounty we enjoyed, so I think I'm good.
I look over at Goddess there for a second and squint my eye. Provide a beautiful bounty, huh?
She shrugs. I think it's better for all of us if he continues to think I'm a goddess.
I just sort of muss up her hair and like kind of give her a playful shove.
You guys are about to leave when Stella finally comes out. She hasn't come out basically for the full 3 days. The only person who's seen her is Roswell. But she's got some color to her face. She's obviously feeling a little bit better. She's still a little weak-kneed. But she comes out and she actually walks over to you guys before you're about to leave. Texts Ruby and, well, wait a second. How are you guys going to go anywhere? The truck's here. The only thing you have is the motorcycle.
I thought we'd be taking the truck.
Well. Yeah,
we'll find some vehicles. Maybe a golf cart.
Ruby's like, I'll steal a car. She just Grand Theft Auto with it.
We'll find a girl.
I'm gonna make a makeshift.
Somewhere around here.
I'm gonna MacGyver a shiv, and then we're gonna take a car. Stella comes over to you guys and just goes, just walks up and goes, I'm sorry for everything that happened. I know I already apologized to Roswell, and I apologized to my sister. You guys feel like the last stop of my apology to her, but I was trying to do the right thing.
There's no apology needed for me, ma'am.
I'll go up to Stella because this was kind of the thing and say, listen here, youngin. You and your sisters are the family I got. Family I'll only ever have and I'll only ever need. You just remember that, alright?
She kind of nods. Yeah. I just didn't want Braddock to keep coming. I thought I could get rid of him. And then Bert...
Family doesn't handle this stuff alone. We handle it together. Now come here. I give her a hug.
She hugs you back really heavily. Bert's just got his hand in his pockets behind you. And then when you guys release, Bert walks over and, like, kneels down in front of her and goes, I'm going to make this very clear. You deserve better than Braddock. And he's not going to bother you no more. I don't know if your sister told you that or not, but we took care of him. She nods. She's like, thank you. And he goes, yep. And then, yeah. So she goes over to eat with Roswell and her sisters. And, yeah, it's time for town adventure. So how are you planning on getting there? I mean, the problem with taking the truck is the most noticeable part of you guys. So if you're trying not to be noticed, probably not a great idea. Also, you guys don't have like tents or anything, so it is kind of required for the people staying behind.
Again, Ruby is looking for a golf cart.
Ruby's gonna try and steal a golf cart. Let's do it. Okay, so
I got a motorcycle. I'm taking the motorcycle if it comes down to it. Somebody can ride with me with a motorcycle. I got room for one more.
okay.
You don't think
Look at Bert.
riding a motorcycle, wherever?
Just keep the cowboy hat low. Keep the cowboy hat really low.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll. Give me a high or low to see if you can find a golf cart just hanging out.
We're gonna go
this KOA.
high. We're gonna go high.
All right, you find a golf cart just hanging out. You're not sure whose it is, but it's just kind of like parked towards a series of mailboxes. There's like a couple of garbage cans in the back, so you're assuming it's a groundskeeper's who is not around at the particular time. Like 2 garbage cans with like
We're gonna
equipment.
take the garbage can, put the weapons in it.
And put the weapons in it? Okay.
You can
All
put
right.
the weapons in the trash can.
Well, you are just going to go to a gun store and buy weapons. I don't think you need to hide them. It's America.
Well, yes, but just in case. I mean, if we're driving into a campground, they're
That's true.
not gonna just be
That's
okay
true.
with us
That's true.
showing up with some guns.
I mean, you guys did show up with a fully grown alligator man, so he's definitely looked other way on some things. All right, you get into the golf cart. Yeah, you could drive it. I mean,
Fantastic. Here
they're
we
not
go.
expecting you to steal their golf cart, so yeah, okay. So
I'm taking my motorcycle.
motorcycle and golf cart drive into town. Bert rides with Ruby, and he goes,
Good call, Bert.
let's just try and make sure this gets back to the KOA.
Of course. We're just using it for transportation as of right now.
All right, you guys start to head into town. You're a couple of miles away. When all of a sudden you guys start to hear Shriner cars. And Bert kind of gets nervous, and he kind of reaches for his 45. And you guys see some tasseled hats in the rearview mirror. So at this point, I'm going to drop the control just a tad to 30. I'm going to ask everybody to give me a detect ambush check if you have that skill.
Don't have that skill.
All right. In that case, I'm going to drop the control to a 20, and you guys can give me an IQ check.
And you said the controls are 20. Okay, got it. Yes. I got an 11.
And I did not make it by a long margin.
You got an 11? Okay, this could be interesting. Okay, all right. So here's what happens. Tex, are you armed in any way, shape, or form right now?
Nope, I lost my gun.
You don't have anything. Okay, well, that's good. That's actually really good. You are convinced that it's the ninjas. They found you. They're in their stupid Shriner cars. The fashion ninjas. They're in their super stupid fucking Shriner cars with the stupid fucking Shriner hats, and they're coming after you. Ruby, same thing for you. You kind of start to go for your 38 when all of a sudden you and Bert both realize that, no, this is just Shriners. They're just normal Shriners headed to the parade that you heard about on the CB a few days ago. But Tex is not sure about it. So, Tex, how would you respond? Because you think it's the ninjas coming to get you.
We gotta get the heck out of here. How fast does that thing go?
Bert's like, it's all right. It's all right. It's just Shriners. It's just Shriners. It's actual Shriners.
I mean, I pop a wheelie. Not like going off, just pop a wheelie. Are you sure? Because I might be able to, I don't know, pop one.
They're straight up Shriners. Take a second look.
Oh, all right.
You take a second
I feel
look.
a lot better once I get my revolver back.
They are definitely Shriners headed to the parade. And I just want to point out, this was the random encounter that Ruby rolled, was that they were Shriners. It basically says it's actual Shriners, but they see the tassels in the mini cars, and hopefully they don't fire first by accident.
Glad I didn't just kill some innocent civilians because I happen to not have a revolver.
Yeah, if you had a revolver, I would have had to make like some sort of stunt for like Ruby or Bertus, because the idea of that encounter is that you're all together, but you guys are in two different vehicles, so you wouldn't have noticed. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have been able to tell you right away.
I would have shot them dead.
Yeah, so they pass you. You feel a little bit bad for almost taking, Grandpa McLean's life, but they just kind of like wave at you. One of them kind of seems to notice you're an armadillo and kind of goes, "Oh," and like it's the gas.
That's right. Tip my hat as they drive by.
And you guys drive into town, golf cart and motorcycle. You're able to find a gun shop relatively easy. He tells you guys to park in an alley, and it's probably not a good idea for you guys to come inside at all.
We'll wait out here. We'll be like, dressed up people that are supposed to go into the parade, so that we'll look kind of disguised.
Find the biggest revolver they have. The biggest revolver they have.
Big of a revolver if it's the size of you.
I'll make it work.
Bert just kind of shakes his head and heads in to get supplies. I'm going to look something up right quick.
I want to look for a boot barn.
A boot barn? Gotta get them boots.
My duster's been pretty badly tattered. Besides, I need a freaking lasso. I've been waiting to use my lasso skill.
Oh,
That's
that's
cool
true.
skill.
Yeah. Why we've made it up because there was
That's
no
true,
actual
yeah.
lasso
Oh.
skill. So he was like, "I want to use a lasso." I was like, "All right, we'll do it. Let's make it happen. Make it happen, Captain." All right. I am just really quickly going through the compendium of weaponry.
Ohio. Ohio don't really have too many cowboy shops.
You guys are in Indianapolis. Not
Okay.
well. You're not in Indianapolis, but you're roundabouts there. That
Yeah, and in Indianapolis, I have no idea what's in it.
You're in between Cincinnati and Indianapolis is where
I'm
you are.
sure there's more yeehaw shops there.
And let's face it, there's yeehaw shops everywhere.
Yeah.
Too many in
You can always
Ohio.
find a yeehaw shop if you look hard
There's
enough.
one down the road from my house.
That doesn't say much for Kent.
There's one 20
No, I
minutes
think
away from
Kent-
me in Phil's house.
I'm in Texas. There's
This
a
is not, yeah, I was about to say, there's a
every
yeehaw
corner.
shop everywhere.
Sorry.
You're in Texas. Okay, this is not what I wanted.
Go to the gas station. That's a yeehaw
There's
shop.
belt buckle stores on every corner.
All right,
Pretty much.
I am just going to use a facsimile. Give me 1 second here. So I was trying to find a very specific gun, but the compendium that I have does not have this specific gun because it's an older gun.
Older gun.
Yeah, an older gun. So I'm just going to make a guess on what it would be.
Oldies but a goodie.
Older guns are more fun.
It's so damn hard to read this with my screen minimized. But if I raise the screen, then nobody can be seen.
Nobody can see. We don't want to be John Cena.
Can't see me. Ba ba da ba ba.
Alright, skills I haven't used yet. Escape artist. Pickpocket. Dance.
What was your gun? It was 3d6?
My,
Uh,
my revolver is a 2d6. If that
Right.
helps.
But
mine was a 4d6.
it was a 46. That's what I thought. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm not going to give you a 46, but I'm going to give you something in the range of coolness. Let's put it that way. So, he comes out. Let me see if I can't. Actually, Wizard. Do you remember Ordo?
Yes.
In there. Ooh, no. Don't click on that. Sorry if everybody lost the feed for a second. Go into Ordo, scroll up in the general chat to where I posted a picture of Preston's gun.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So he comes out. He comes out with some stuff. He hands and he hands the text. He's like, "Look, couldn't find a gun to replace that hand cannon you were walking around with, but I thought they did have kind of something in the antique department, and I thought since you are a cowboy." And he hands you basically like a modern day remaking of a Schofield revolver, which is a cavalry revolver from the Wild West. That's a breakaway gun, specifically made to be able to like reload with one hand. He also hands you a few speed loaders too. 2 speed loaders, and then he hands you. Let me see, 6. We're gonna say we'll say enough shells to cover all of that. So
I look at this very cowboy gun he just handed me and all these speed loaders. I'm speechless.
He's over here geeking out.
I give him a hug.
He's like, "Oh man, everybody's hugging me lately." The gun does 3d6, not 46, 3d6. However,
Anything for reload or anything like that?
it's reloadable with one hand. So you know how you had a hard time, how you couldn't reload with one hand on your motorcycle without making a crazy motorcycle roll?
Yeah.
You don't have to do that anymore. You have to take an action to reload, but you can do it without making any sort of skill check while you're riding your motorcycle.
I love this gun. This is actually like better. I want to be on my motorcycle and I want to shoot shit with it and just be like, psh.
I'm low key obsessed with the Schofield. It's a gun that I always wanted and never acquired as an adult because they're relatively rare and expensive. But they're so cool. They're breakaway revolvers, and they were designed during the Civil War for cavalrymen, so that like you could reload with one hand.
Yeah, that's definitely the revolver for
for the motorcycle cowboy. Yeah,
yeah.
I think that works. I think that works. So there you go. Schofield it up.
Awesome.
And then he's just got some assortment of other bullets to handle. And overall, you would get 6, 12, 18, 24. We're going to say 32 rounds he gives you.
32 rounds, all right.
Nice hefty rounds.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Now, I will say this. I am going to say this. That reload bonus of like not having to reload, that ends when you use your speed reloaders. Okay?
Okay.
Because even with the breakaway, you would have to finger each shell in, and then you're going to have to make some sort of crazy check to do that while driving.
Okay, and I have 2 speed loaders?
Yes, he got you 2 speed loaders and the Schofield. So so those first 2 reloads, you won't have to make any sort of motorcycle roll. After that, you will have to make a motorcycle roll.
Got it.
Because you'll have to literally like feed them in one at a time.
Yeah. Not too bad.
All right, you guys get the stuff. Does anybody else want to do any shopping in town?
No,
I do want to try and find a lot.
I just needed a few rounds to fill up my chambers.
How many bullets do you have total, Ruby, right now?
You had to where I had 24, but I shot 5.
So you still have 19 rounds.
Right.
Okay. He'll give you an extra like 6.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you that. I still want you to run out of ammo. As a game master. Okay. So you guys have filled up a little bit on your ammo. You guys take your golf cart and you head back towards the campground. Roswell, what's your latest episode about?
If we're on pace for what's been going down, it'll be talking about government corruption and the hiring of outside sources to do their dirty work.
Okay. I want you to give me I am through role-playing going to give you a skill. Because this skill will not really have any direct involvement on the game. But to give you that skill, I want you to roll your intelligence, but I want you to roll with a control of 50.
Intelligence is IQ, right?
Yep.
$58 and my intelligence is 11. So yeah, that passes. I'm close, but it passes.
Wait. So what'd you roll?
58, and I guess it would be 61. So yeah, I did pass.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you the skill to start. That sucks, but I was going by how much you beat it by. So so you beat it by We're gonna double it, give you 22% in it, and the skill is gonna be called podcasting
Okay.
because you're learning as you go. Starting to figure out how to edit your stuff, which is nice because like the first episode has a lot of just like you talking to the phone. It's like it would be like, how do I start it? Where do I? Okay, what is this? Hello, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But now you're starting to kind of like figure out where to cut it and how to make cuts and stuff. But you have also noticed something else during the course of this thing. You have noticed on your app, since we don't want to get sued, the spoofy app, you've noticed that your podcast, you didn't even realize this, your podcasts are like auto posting a Q&A question every time you post an episode to the podcast thread. And the Q&A question so far has been, what do you think of this podcast? Just like a standard boilerplate thing. And you finally find this interact section. And I would say at this point, you're probably about like 8-9 episodes in, I'd say, right? Give or take. Yeah. And you've started to notice from like episode 3, comments have started to come in.
Nice.
And you don't have that many listeners, but over and over and over again, you'll get like the same couple of comments. One is from, and you might want to note this down, just saying. One is from Damn Skippy 97. And a lot of his stuff has been like, yeah, right on. Wait, some of this sounds fake. Like stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
I think on episode 6 he actually goes, what happened to all those weird comedy parts where you were talking to the phone? Like, because you figured out how to edit. The other commenter that you've been getting every time is a commenter that has himself listed as Jimmy Fallon.
He would hate me.
And Jimmy Fallon every time is typing like he has started to type weird stuff like one of them is your words become me, and another one is I know now why the world is the way the world is, and like one of them's like a straight paragraph of just like, I see now through your eyes, and I know what I must do, and I know what must be done, and why humanity has failed us all, my brothers, and I will show you what needs to happen, and why this government, like that kind of stuff.
I'm scrolling through, I'm like, what cults are gonna happen? That ain't on me.
And we're going to end on that note for the night. I hope you guys had fun. This has been great. We will
Colts
be back.
Colts are not on us, by the way.
Colts are not on us. We are going to be back next week. Next month with episode 11 as the Trudge Cross Country continues. Who is Jimmy Fallon? What is this mysterious cult thing? Will that come to fruition? Who are the road dogs? Are they good guys or the bad guys? We'll have to find all that out next time. But until then, let's do some plugs because we're an internet channel and that's what you do. Phil Billy, anything you want to plug, buddy?
This, and obviously you're here if you're watching this. If you are watching this and you enjoy it, be sure to check out Astral Drive. We'll be recording a new episode next Thursday. So hope to see you guys there.
Next couple of episodes. Astral Drive has been a lot of fun. And we're in our second campaign out of 3 that I have planned, so it should be interesting. Oh, Wizards Roast Bites! You're next.
The wizardsrespite.com, website where we talk about all things TTRPG. I also have t-shirts up there of all of these episodes and everything that we're doing, TTRPG, Astral Drive, all that stuff. popping up there. You can see all of it there, along with articles that I'm writing that all fall under the category of tabletop role-playing games. Yeah, that's my plug for tonight.
And then, last but certainly not least, Hope Child, what would you like to plug? I'm going to put mine up into the camera.
Check my amazing company out. It's called Creative with Love by Jackie Riggs on Facebook. I have started adding a lot of new and fun items to my Facebook page. I also have the official Old Man Gaming tumblers available. If you would like to purchase to support Old Man Gaming. And then also some other wonderful things that you can get. I have wallets. I have your teenage Stanley Cups. And I am actually proud to say I am actually right now in the middle of building my website to be adding a link very shortly to the actual page.
Nice. Congratulations on that. I'm going to add to that, if you're in Ohio and you're at near Field High School, she's going to be at a craft show at Field High School from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. this Saturday, correct?
Yes. So Field High School, which is towards like the Kent, Brimfield area.
Go buy shit, guys. Go buy shit. As far as I'm concerned, if you're watching this, you're a TTRPG lover. We do both video games and TTRPGs here on the channel, trying to keep both of those content coming while my brain melts. We have Sanctorum every other Friday, which is our TTRPG podcast, just talking about stuff that's me and Wiz. There is, of course, Astro Drive that Phil Billy talked about, and this. And then we have a bunch of actual play stuff, pre-recorded actual play podcasts coming in a few months. Just hold on, guys. We're getting there. We're almost done. I think we're over halfway with a Doctor Who actual play that I'm super excited with, that Hope Child actually took part in. And then we're also almost done with the first section of Ordo Scriptorum, which will coincide with the release of Single Mod. Please go to itch.io and buy it. It's a role-playing game. It's only $6. It's easy read, 45 pages, simple rules with nice build mechanics, and you get to support my dumbass. So let's do that. Other than that, you guys can check out everything we have to offer. You can also contact us on Facebook at Old Man Gaming DH, on Twitter at Old Man Gaming 9. You can join our Discord, links in the description below. Influence this and all of our shows from there. Check out Wizard's Respite at wizardsrespite.com. Check out Jackie at Created with Love, or Hope Child at Created with Love, and her business. And as long as you guys keep watching and listening, we'll keep making them. And also, last but not least, thanks Battletoad for jumping into the chat. Talk to you guys later.
Later.
We're out. And